Hello. Hello, hello. Anybody in the chat? Feel free to say hello. We are live. This is the first ever Affordable Armory live show. I just figured I would come on and chat with you guys. Planning to do several shows, this being the first ever one. I'm going to go solo today. So it'll be just me. No guests, but I am planning to have guests in the future. So let's just go ahead and get started. Today's topic, well, we have a couple of topics today. First one, I'm going to introduce myself. So we'll start off. What's up, Affordable Armory folks? That's how I start every video. I'm going to introduce myself today. My name is Justin. I've never introduced myself on the channel, so there you go. There's my name. Some of you who have emailed me may already know that. If you've ever emailed me and I emailed you back, you will know that my name is Justin. And so there you go. That's me. A little bit about me. I did not grow up with firearms. Okay, so oh, cool. We got a couple people in the chat now. So feel free to say hi. Anyway, so I didn't grow up around firearms. My dad had a shotgun when I was a kid. I shot it like one time, and then I shot in Boy Scouts one time. We shot shotguns and 22 rifles, and then that was really it. So when I joined the Air Force, I was 26 years old and joined the Air Force. That was really my introduction to guns. We shot the M16 at basic, carried it around with us everywhere, and I also shot the M9. And then I didn't really see a gun again for several years. Well, maybe not several years. So I had to qualify with a rifle before my deployment. And then after that, I didn't see a rifle again for quite some time. Now, fast forward to about 2012 or so, I got stationed at an Army base. And while I was there, we were issued our own rifle that we had to qualify with multiple times throughout the year. So we were shooting all the time. And we had to qualify with the pistol multiple times throughout the year. So I was shooting a lot. And eventually, a buddy of mine invited me to go hunting with him. So I was like, sure, why not? Sounds fun. We went duck hunting, and I had a blast. So I was kind of like, I think I want a shotgun now. And then we went turkey hunting, and I was like, yep, I got to get a shotgun. So that's what I did. I went and bought a shotgun. That was my first gun. And after that, I started going to the range and practicing. And there were some other guys at work that they were like, hey, you should come to the range with us. And so I was like, okay, cool. And it turns out they shot pistols. They didn't tell me that. So I shot their pistols, and I was like, ooh, this is kind of cool. The only pistol I'd ever shot up to that point was the M9. And they had Smith & Wesson M&Ps. They had a FN57 and all sorts of stuff, 1911s. And so then I went out and bought a Smith & Wesson M&P. That was my first pistol. And it just kind of escalated from there. Found myself going to the range at least twice a month and practicing, learning things. And I got really into watching YouTube videos because I wanted to learn how to clean my guns, how often I should clean the guns, how do you take them apart, all that type of stuff. And I didn't really have anybody to teach me. So I got on the Google and searched, and there was usually a video that would tell me how. So little did I know that would eventually be me on the other end of that. Anyway, so fast forward a few more years, and when I was getting out of the Air Force, by that time I was really into guns and starting to think about what I wanted to do as a civilian. So I went and got my NRA instructor certification, and then I went and got the NRA RSO certification. And my first job outside of the military was working at a gun range. I was an RSO, but I was also teaching private lessons, and then I would assist with the concealed carry class every now and then. And I really liked it. I really enjoyed teaching. And that was just an absolute blast. I loved it. And then let's see, I went from there. I kind of switched gears a little bit. A friend of mine called me and asked me to move back to Tennessee. So I'm not originally from Tennessee. That's where I am now. And what's up, G3c? Mo Theory. Anyway, I ended up moving back to the Nashville area and doing something a little bit different. It was a little crazy. We were traveling all the time, going all over the country. And I did that for like 3 years. And when COVID hit, that sort of went away. So I ended up working part-time at the gun range, and that's what I do now. I am a full-time instructor. And so I teach all the time now, and I absolutely love it. And as you know, somewhere in between there, I started this YouTube channel just to share my passion with you guys, and it's been a blast. So that's kind of my firearms journey in a little bit of a pinch there. So you guys in the chat, if you want to tell me, or if you want any questions from me, go ahead and throw them in the chat. I will answer just about anything you throw at me if I can. And tell me what your deal is. What's your experience with firearms? How did you get into guns? How long have you been shooting? That type of stuff. The other thing that I wanted to talk about on this live chat is kind of the reason I started this channel, and we're going to talk about the meaning of affordable. What's up, Defense Dad? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Some familiar faces in the chat there. This is the first one, so I had no idea what to expect. Drive-by victim. Hey there, I'm working and can't watch, but congrats on the first episode. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Maybe you can make the next one. Should be fun. Oh, wow. G3c was a felon and had his rights restored. Congratulations on that, man. That is very hard to do, as I'm sure you know. I do know a couple of felons in my own life, and neither one of them has even come close to getting that level. One came close to getting expunged, but that's about it. And I'm living in conservative states, and you pretty much need a gubernatorial pardon to get that done. So yeah, good for you, G3c. That's awesome. Defense Dad, I know you just hopped in here, so I just talked about my experience with guns, how I got started in guns, and we're just kind of talking about, if you want to jump in the chat and talk about your experience with guns, how you got started, how long you've been shooting, that type of stuff. $5,000 to get them back. Wow, that's okay. That's cheaper than I thought. I'm guessing that's not counting whatever fines and stuff you had to pay for the original offense. But let's see. So, question for you guys in the chat: do you guys, do any of you guys teach? Are any of you instructors? And if so, what do you teach? You try back. Oh hell, they won't miss me. I'll stay. Good. Glad to see you, man. This is cool. I like this. So funny story. I did a video last week, and someone called me out that I wasn't actually drinking from this mug. So I do actually have water in this mug tonight. Or this tumbler. There you go. Just for you guys. I'm actually drinking out of the tumbler. All right. So while you guys think about the questions I've thrown out there, I'm going to move on to the second topic, which was, again, what is the Affordable Armory and what does affordable mean? So when I was getting into guns, everybody told me, Like, you need a Glock, or you need a Smith and Wesson, or you need a Sig Sauer. Don't buy a High Point. Don't buy a Taurus or a Sky or whatever, because they all suck. And no one really said why. They just said they suck. Like, you need a Glock, you need this, you need that. Don't buy those guns. And me being the curious person that I am, I wanted to know. So I just started buying them because why not? They're cheap, right? So my idea with the Affordable Armory is buy the cheap guns and see if they work. Originally, now my idea of the Affordable Armory has since changed, and I'll get to that when we talk about the meaning of affordable. But originally, it was try out the Taurus guns, try out the Skies, guns like that, and just test them, see if they work. And it started out originally, I was just on Instagram, and then I found myself filming myself at the range. So I thought, okay, let me start posting these videos on YouTube because it's taking up a lot of space on my phone. And then that turned into, well, let me do a more formal thing where I'm actually talking to the camera and it's not just me shooting the guns. And then I moved into doing the unboxings and stuff like that. And it's just kind of progressed from there. Still an ever evolving thing. But that's the general direction that it's gone. Started with, like I said, just figuring out, are these cheap guns viable? Do they work? And as you guys know, if you've watched my channel, some of them are very, very good. The Taurus G3c, for example, I've got a couple thousand rounds through that gun. Awesome little pistol. Can't say enough about it. The only thing I didn't like about it was that it was very hard to replace the sights on it. And then the G3c came out and solved that problem because you can put Glock sights on that gun. So problem solved. Plus with the G3c, you get an extra magazine. So even better. That's still probably the number one high value budget, if you will, pistol on the market, in my opinion. And it's going to be really hard to beat that one. So another question for you guys: what's your favorite budget pistol, or affordable pistol, if you will, or high value pistol, depending on how you define it? Like I said, mine is the Taurus G2C or the G3C. There are some other good options out there. Let's see, Defense Dad says, a lot of people give me crap about my choices if a gun when I started because I'm left-handed and wanted something ambi. It was money, so I figured the heck with them. Yeah. Yep. Mo Theory says Taurus G3C is awesome. You're absolutely right. It is. As is the G3, the full-size pistol. And I mean, they're just getting better and better. Their little 22, the TX22, fantastic gun. I did a 1,000-round test on that without cleaning it. Awesome gun. So Defense Dad, what gun did you end up going with since you are left-handed? I know you have several pistols now at this point. I've been watching your channel, but what gun did you go with since you're left-handed and looking for ambidextrous? All right. So let's see. The problem with gun culture is the stratification of the people within it. All of my guns are made personally from flea market parts. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Your first gun was a Llama 9mm. Okay. Yeah. Do they even still make llamas anymore? I think the shotgun that my dad has is a Llama, and I remember him saying that it's crappy. So I don't know. First gun was a Ruger SR9. Okay. That's not a bad gun. I've shot those. I don't own one, but I have shot those. Had a buddy try to sell me one, and I just wasn't really interested at the time, but not a bad little pistol. Taurus upped their game big time. Yes, they did. So again, going back to what I was talking about with people telling me Taurus sucks. At the time, they were probably referring to the Taurus Millennium, especially the first generation Millennium. That gun did suck. I'll tell you that right now. That had the worst trigger I shot the 40 cal version of that, and it had the worst trigger on any gun of any type that I have ever fired. Period. Just hands down, the Taurus Millennium, first generation, worst trigger on any gun I've ever fired. Um, the second generation, so I owned the Millennium G2. That's before they went to the G3 or G2c. The Millennium G2, that gun sucked too. I hated it. I bought it because Academy, if y'all know Academy, the store, the sporting goods store, they had a Father's Day sale. So you buy the Millennium G2 and you get a free Heritage Rough Rider. I shot the Millennium G2 like 2 times and I was like, yep, I hate it. And so I sold it, and basically now I have the Heritage Rough Rider. I still have it to this day. I got my money back for what I paid for it. So now I have a free Heritage Rough Rider, which is pretty cool. Dad had a Gen 1 Millennium. I think he used it as a boat anchor. that's that's probably a good use for that. I mean, it's not a very good gun. I'll leave it at that. Let's see. I'm not sure that llama was more of a rattle box than a World War I bring home. Okay. So let's move on. We'll talk about what affordable means, at least to me, and then y'all can put in the chat what you think of when you hear affordable. So at first, I kind of assigned a number, and that number was $500. So the gun had to be less than $500. Now, at the time, there wasn't a whole lot as far as good guns, or at least decent guns in that price point. It's improved significantly. There's a whole lot of them now. The Stoeger STR9 comes to mind. The ATI FXS9 I reviewed recently. That gun is really, really good. Both of those pistols can be had for about $300, which puts them right on par with the Taurus. But it's, I don't know. Originally, like I said, $500 was what I thought of as affordable. All right, what I thought most people would be willing to spend on a gun. Since then, my opinion has kind of changed for a couple reasons. One is if your budget is $500, then that already rules out Glock, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, those types of guns, and then on up. So right off the bat, those guns are out the door. So even if you find a Glock for $500, which is hard to do unless you're law enforcement or military or first responder, then you get a discount. But a new Glock for $500 is pretty much next to impossible. So right off the bat, the standard, everyone's like the Glock 19, still to this day, probably the gold standard that we hold every gun up against, right? Is this new gun the Glock 19 killer? So like it or not, that's the standard. And so my definition of affordable changed because of that, but also thinking about, say you go do buy that Glock. Well, you have no money left over for spare magazines. You have no money left over for ammunition. You have no money left over for holster, all sorts of stuff, let alone training, which you should get training. So $500 really isn't enough. And if you're only going to spend $500, then the gun you buy should be like close to half of that. I mean, I would think your budget, if it's $500, your gun should be a Taurus then, because then you're at $300 and they have money left over for spare magazines, holsters, training, ammunition, that type of stuff. Now, the other reason that it's changed, so that's reason number one. The other reason that my definition of affordable has changed If y'all know who Ryder's Range is, if you don't, go subscribe to his YouTube channel because he's super awesome, makes great videos, um, and I'm super jealous of his backyard where he shoots. But anyway, he he on I don't know if it's still there, but he had a blog post where he talked about Affordable. He did a series of videos were called the Great Affordable 1911, and he's talking about guns that are like $1,600, and I'm like, whoa, 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 how is that affordable? And so in his blog post, he explains that affordable could be, well, one, it's a relative term. What's affordable to me is not necessarily affordable to you, but also uh, you could save money. Right? Stop going to Starbucks every day, take that money, set it aside, and then eventually you'll be able to afford that gun that you really want. So it's a matter of budgeting. Again, we keep talking about budget, but it's also a matter of saving your money and just being patient. The big part being patient. A lot of those 1911s that he reviewed, he bought used. So he may have paid $1,200 for a $2,000 gun because he found a used one. So, so there's my two thoughts on Affordable. Y'all can tell me in the chat what you think about Affordable, and then also, what is your number one affordable gun? What to you is like the number one affordable gun? I already said mine, the Taurus G2c or the Taurus G3c. But I want to know what y'all think. Let's see. Let's all get into this. Oh man, yeah, such a sad story. I know. I can't like. I wouldn't recommend that gun anyway, but that should never happen. That's so awful. Um, and I don't really go into politics on my channel, but I will say that was a terrible thing. That should not have happened. Um, whether you like those guns or not, just shouldn't happen. Let's see. Defense Dad, I rotate between a PPQ subcompact, VP9, or a SIG 938. Wow. Okay. All those very nice guns. I like SIGs, so I'll tell you, nice choice on that 938. Those are really hard to find now too. I don't know what the deal is, but they've basically disappeared from the market. And I don't know why. They should come back because it's a really, really nice gun. And now with the Smith & Wesson CSX, I think it's a really good reason for them to maybe reintroduce the 938 in a double stack gun or 1.5 stack gun, whatever. Give me the SIG P938 in a 10 round capacity. Yes, please. I'm buying that in a heartbeat. The PPQ, great gun. I love the Walters. VP9. I have not bought an HK yet. I'm scared to death to buy an HK because I feel like I will fall in love with them. That's and they're outside the scope of my original version of affordable. Now with my lifestyle, I personally would consider them affordable, but again, affordable being relative. So whether that's affordable to you or not, the VP9 is a fantastic pistol. I'm actually currently looking at getting the VP9 match. And that is, so they have the VP9L, which is a long slide, and then the VP9 match is an even longer long slide. And it comes with like 3 24 round magazines, I think. 3 or might even be 4. I can't remember, but super awesome gun. I've been eyeing it for a while now. And like I said, I'm just afraid. I don't know. When I switch to SIG, because SIG is what I carry 9 times out of 10. That's my favorite carry gun is the P320 compact or the P365 XL. And I mean, at the time I was like, okay, these are getting a little up there in price. Is more expensive than Glocks, definitely more expensive than Taurus and stuff like that. But yeah, if I make the jump to HK, it's gonna be over. I'm gonna have to start selling some guns to afford the HKs. Let's see. For my first gun, my budget was $350. Yeah, and that's good. Um, that's a good number, and then so assuming a budget of $500, that gives you $150 to spend on ammunition, holster. I mean, if it's your first gun, you're probably going to buy 3 or 4 holsters because you're going to buy one and be like, oh, this sucks. I need to get another holster. Um, but that leaves you money left over for accessories and training and stuff. Rock Island Armory and EAA, very affordable. Yes, Mo Theory, I agree with you. I had a Rock Island Armory 1911. That was my first 1911. I did a couple of videos with it on the channel. I sold it last year. Don't really miss it. If I wanted another one, I could get another one fairly easily, so not really a big deal. But that is a good gun. And actually, now I'm looking at getting the 10 mil double stack. It's the TAC Ultra. And I shot that when I was in South Carolina at the gathering. Oh my gosh, what a sweet gun. I think so 10 mil is probably my next step in the gun world. I'm going to start collecting 10 millimeter pistols, and that's definitely on the list. And then EAA, I've never owned any EAA guns, but the was the Windicator? Is that is it 357 or 38 special? That's not a 1911. Obviously, that's a revolver, but either way, that's the gun that I'm most familiar with EAA. And then I think they have like some CZ clones too, or something like that. But also very affordable. So I agree with you, Mo Theory. Both of those are solid choices. Let's see. I wanted to learn to do it myself, so I decided to roll my own. My idea of affordable is higher than $500. Okay. But I ended up paying more for the privilege of building it myself from a P80 starting point. Yeah, I will agree with you there. I've done some videos on that as well. I did do a Polymer 80 build about 2 years ago. And with the same idea in mind, I wanted to know, could I build a Glock 19 for less than the price of a Glock 19? And would it be reliable? And so I think my final price for it was, I think it was right about 500 or just under. Had some reliability issues in the beginning, but once I got that worked out, it ran fine. And so I kind of came to the conclusion that it's if you want a Glock, just buy a Glock. If you want to tinker, if you're one of those type of people, you like making things, you want to build a gun, then go do the Polymer 80 thing. Now, I have been in touch with JSD Supply. I made contact with them also at the gathering in South Carolina. They have sent me stuff, and stay tuned to the channel because there's stuff coming up on that. But I am going to be doing another build. I'll go ahead and tell you that. Another build is coming. It's not a 19. It's not a 17. It's not a single stack. It's going to be really cool. And once I get it built, then I'm going to do a part 3, essentially, to that 2-part series on build or buy. Is it worth it? So should be fun. The G3c is awesome for the money. It's awesome, period. Not just for the money. I mean, that gun is a tank. It runs and runs and runs. I've put, I think it's close to 3,000 rounds through it at this point. I haven't really shot it recently, but it was over 2,000 at last count. And I've run it through several classes. And it's funny when you go to a training class and a lot of the people are there like, oh man, what gun are you shooting? They're like, oh yeah, I got the new staccato this, or I got the, a custom Glock 19, blah, blah, blah. And then they get to me and I'm like, I got a Taurus G3c. And then they don't want to talk to me again for the rest of the class. And then I outshoot them in the class and they're like, what the heck, man? I'm like, yeah, dude, it's not about the gun. The gun doesn't matter. Let's see. Because it's a single stack and the P365 outsold it. Oh, I guess you're talking about the P938. Yeah, so they should reintroduce the 938 as a double stack. That would be, I mean, I would buy 3 or 4 of those because they're going to introduce it in the Nitron model. They're going to introduce a Legion version. They're going to introduce a Scorpion version, and I'm going to want all of them. So um, that's just how SIG does things. Oh, okay. So drive-by victim, oops, less than 500. Okay, all right, good. Okay, that's fine. Either way, like I said, affordable is relative. For some people, 1,000 might be their number. Also, EAA makes the witness, yeah, the CZ clones, exactly, and they do make it in 10 millimeter. Yep. Let's see. My next is a G20 or 21 polymer 80. Yeah, I thought about that, and then I was like, I don't know how I trust building my own 10 millimeter pistol. I'm a little worried about that. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe in the future. That's not the one I'm building, just so you know. Let's see. EAA makes a bunch of different stuff. Windicator is German made, and Gerson is their Turkish subsidiary that makes their 19. Oh, I did not know that. Gerson is awesome. That's another one. I haven't talked about them yet. I have their Beretta clone. Oh man, losing the name of it right now. But that gun is awesome. The Beretta clone. And I've seen some of their 1911s. I haven't seen any that were branded EAA. They all say Gerson on them. But yeah, those are great guns. There's a couple of ones they make. They make a little a striker fired gun too, the MC9, I think, or something like that. They got one that's optics ready. They got all sorts of stuff. That's a great company. Let's see. People need to not be afraid of the used case at the gun store. Great point. I do not do a lot of used gun shopping now. I pretty much, I have a hookup since I do teach at my local gun store. So that's pretty much where I get all my guns. And if they don't have it, they can order it for me. So I don't really, unless I'm ordering something from Palmetto State Armory, I don't really buy guns anywhere else anymore. But yeah, used guns, great option. My local gun shop has both. They do consignment pistols, and they also buy used pistols and turn around and sell them. There's always pawn shops. That's something I need to do sometime soon. Is just go pawn shop surfing and see, because I need to get a high point, and I don't want to pay full price for one. I want to find a used one for like $90, something like that. Pay cash for it. Because I feel like I don't know why I haven't done one yet, but I feel like this far deep into the Affordable Armory, going on like a little over 3 years now, probably should have a high point. So, and I think that's the best way to get one, most likely, the used one at a pawn shop. Let's see. What do I think about the Shield Plus? I think the Shield Plus is a great gun. Now, me personally, I'm probably not going to buy one, but that's because I have moved away from Smith & Wesson pistols. Again, I'm on the 6 hour train. So that's just my personal preference. But I do think the gun itself, all right, it's not for me, but it is a good gun. I think they came out with it 2 years too late. They should have come out with it. I mean, the 365 came out and basically took over the market. The Shield had dominated the market for 5-6 years at least, and the 365 just took it over. And so they should have said, hey, we should take our Shield pistol, which was up until this point the number one most bought gun on the market, most carried gun, whatever, and make it into a not double stacked, it's stack and a half, whatever you want to call it, pistol. They should have came out with the Shield Plus then, and they didn't. And then you had the Springfield Hellcat came out, and then you have the Ruger and the Taurus, the Max 9 from Ruger, the Taurus GX4, and then finally the Smith & Wesson. And it's like, well, yeah, you guys are kind of late to the game here. So I think it's good as an upgrade for someone who already has a shield. If they're looking to upgrade, they get that increased capacity, and then they can use the same holsters, because it does fit in the same holsters as the original shield. But yeah, I do think it's a good gun. There's a version that comes with night sights on it, which is pretty cool. And then right now, what I've seen is this little survival kit thing. It comes with a little bag, a little over-the-shoulder bag, comes with a first aid kit, and then it comes with 5 magazines. That is, and it's, I think Palmetto had it for like $500 or something. It was ridiculously cheap. So you got the gun, 5 magazines, a bag, and a first aid kit. Like, that's a heck of a deal. If I was looking for a carry gun, yes, I would buy that. Let's see. I wish they would, because I thought I was going to love the CSX and I hated it. Trigger was a dumpster fire. Man, you know what? So I've seen all these videos on the CSX, and they talk about that. That's literally everyone's complaint, is the trigger on the CSX. I did a video on the CSX, and I happen to like the gun. I like the way it feels in my hand. It shoots great, and I kind of just ignored the fact that the trigger sucked. I mean, I don't think I even talked about it in the video. But there is, I saw a video recently where it was Robbie Wheaton. He actually explained what's going on with the false reset. That's the thing everyone's complaining about. It has a false reset. And he's a gunsmith, and he actually like showed, here is why that's happening, and was talking about how hopefully Smith & Wesson could get that fixed. But I didn't really, I mean, it didn't really bother me. My concern is more, does it feel good in my hand, and does it shoot straight? And it did both of those things, so I was happy with it. Again, probably not a gun I'm going to go out and buy. Just doesn't really fit into anything that I would need it for. It's not going to be a range gun, not going to be a carry gun. And I mean, I guess it may be a fun gun, but for fun guns now, I'm really looking at the big guns like the VP9 Match that I was talking about earlier. So let's see. Also, T-Sauce is a Turkish company that makes great Colt 1911 clones. I don't have any experience with the T-Sauce guns. I have seen those. I've never shot one, so I can't speak to that. So Mo3, I'll just take your word on that. Let's see, Defense Dad. I rented the CSX right alongside the Shield Plus, and Shield Plus shoots so much better for me. Okay, fair enough. You shot them side by side, and that's what shot better. And you were excited about it because it's fully ambi and subcompact. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Well, not fully ambi. The magazine release button is they include a left-handed mag release with the gun, I think, or it's reversible, one of those two. So not fully ambi. To me, fully ambi means left and right side mag release, left and right side safety, and left and right side slide stop, slide release. That would be fully ambidextrous. Same on a rifle. So left and right-handed of everything. Let's see. And then right up my alley was actually considering it to retire my 938. Yeah, I mean, that's the same type of gun, right? It's either the CSX, the 938, or the Kimber, whatever it's called, the Micro 9, I think was their gun. And same thing to Kimber. Where's the double stack Micro 9? That would be awesome. And also, why are none of these guns in 30 Super Carry? Because that caliber is so awesome. At least that's what they tell us. um, I don't know. Have any of you shot a 30 Super Carry yet? I shot the 30 Super Carry and just it didn't do anything for me, to be honest. You can't find the ammo. There's only like 3 guns that are made for it, and I don't know. It's dumb. And then I did see a video recently where they were talking about innovation. They're like, "Oh, it's innovation. Innovation is so great," and this and that. It is, yeah. If it proves to be a useful innovation, then yes, innovation is good. But innovation just to do something different because we just decided to make this thing, that's you're a solution looking for a problem at that point. So, um, 2 different types of innovation, and for me, it's that one. Let's see. If the slide release is ambi, I consider it fully ambi. Okay. And then you're fine switching the mag release. Yeah. Being left-handed, I liked my 1911s for some reason. I learned how to manipulate the slide catch and magazine release with my index finger. The Glock's not so much, too stiff. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Well, I don't know because I'm not left-handed. I do shoot left-handed from time to time, but I actually don't use the slide release, and it's a personal preference, right? As an instructor, I would never tell someone this is the only way to do something, but I prefer to rack the slide, whether I'm doing a reload, whether I'm clearing a malfunction. Whether I'm loading the gun for the first time, doesn't matter. I rack the slide. And that's just how I do it. It's easy for me to remember that one way of doing things. That rather than, okay, if I'm loading the gun, then I hit the slide stop. If I'm doing a malfunction, then I have to remember to rack the slide. So I just do it the one way every time, and it's just muscle memory. That's how I've trained to do it. But I won't say that you're wrong. That's not necessarily wrong. That's just a different way of doing it. As long as you practice that way and you always do it that way, then you should be all right. Let's see. I have one gun that seems to load better using slide release. That's my M&P Bodyguard. Okay, that's a fair argument too. Let me get a drink of water real quick. So, something that a lot of people don't know is not every gun is designed for that little lever to be a slide release. Okay. Sometimes it's no defense, Dad. You're good. You're fine, man. And not every gun is the slide lever designed to be a slide release. Sometimes it's just a slide stop, right? That same lever stops the slide, locking it open when the gun is empty. I think Smith & Wesson is one of those. I'm not 100%, but you'll see it in the manual. That's why some of them call it a slide catch, not a slide release. Some of them call it a slide stop. Some of them will call it a slide stop / slide release. So it varies from gun to gun. It's not actually a universal thing where it's always a slide release. So just wanted to, since we're talking about it, just wanted to put that out there for you guys. Let's see. In my opinion, the 30 Super Carry is like a 380 plus P plus. So there's that. Yeah. That's, I guess, I mean, I don't know if there is a 380 plus P plus, but yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. It's I don't know. It's because it is between 380 and 9mm. right? It's a slightly larger bullet than a 380 because they're usually 100 grains, and 380 is 95 grains. So, but also smaller than 9mm. The case is longer, so you get more velocity because you get more powder in the case. So it's a higher velocity. I equated it kind of like the 40. Like if you're a 9mm guy and or you're a 45 guy, the equivalent would be the 40, right? It's in between. So you got a higher velocity round with the difference in capacity. So there's some upside, some downside. So 9mm, yes, more capacity. The 40 less capacity, but the 40 is definitely a hotter round. The 45 is a bigger round. You get less capacity. Butane Clan, what's up, man? Oh wow, cool, man. I you just got here. You missed the part where I was talking about polymer 80s. Someone mentioned a polymer 80 build earlier, and I was actually talking about how I will very soon be putting out a video on a new build. So good to see you, man. I was not expecting that. Nice for you to pop in. Let's see. Oh, Carolina EDC Reviews in the house too. What's up, man? Good to see you. This is cool. How much is the ammo on 30 Super? Like $2 a round. Let's see. I want to say it's about $30 a box, if I remember right. So a little bit more expensive than 9mm. But so is 380, right? 380 has always been more expensive than 9mm. And it's a new caliber. It's really hard to find. So when you find it, it's going to be expensive. Oh, Putang, yeah, I will send you an email tomorrow. I was sending out email invites today. I will absolutely send you an invite. And yep, Caroline EDC, shoot me an email. I do not have your contact info. You can shoot me an email. It's justin@affordable-armory.com, and I will send you an invite to be on a show. Absolutely. That's pretty low for a new cartridge. I guess it's the thing with it is if you can find it, regardless of how much it costs, it's hard to find the ammo. I actually tried to order the ammo from Federal, and I couldn't even order it from Federal. I was like, okay, you guys are the only ones who make this ammo, and you won't even sell it to me, or you don't have any to sell to me. That's ridiculous. So I just don't see it going anywhere until we get more guns and more manufacturers making the ammunition. So, well, let's see. Just kidding. I suck. Hey man, there's a first time for everything, including right now. This is my first live show too. So maybe when you come on, I'll have a little bit more experience at it, and it'll be better. Right now, we're just kind of chatting. Right, I knocked out my 2 topics pretty quick, and we've been answering questions and taking suggestions. So Ammo Fast has it for $23 a 50 count. Okay, that's lower than I've seen it for, so that's pretty cool. Wait, did you say Remington Full Metal Jacket? So another company besides Federal is making 30 Super Carry. Can you confirm that for me? Because that's the first I've heard of that. I have not heard of other companies besides Federal making the ammunition. Let's see. Only slightly bigger handle. Oh wait, you think Ruger will adapt its LCP max from 380 to 9mm? They already have a max 9, So that gun is already in existence, unless you're talking about a 30 super carry, which that's exactly what. Oh my gosh, my iPad is going off. Apparently, it thought I said the S word. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you have Apple products. Anyway, Mo Theory. To answer your question, I think you mean, are they going to make the Ruger Max in a 30 super carry? That would be awesome. I want to see a 6-hour P365 in 30 super carry. I want to see a Ruger Max in 30 super carry. I want to see the Taurus GX4, guns like that, all in 30 super carry, or even a full size. Give me a Glock 19 sized gun for 400 to $500 in 30 super carry. I'd buy that just to try it out. Why the heck not? I also want to be able to buy Blazer Brass 30 super carry. I want to see that on the shelf. Where's it at? I want to see Hornady Critical Defense 30 super carry. Where's that ammo at? Then we'll start talking if 30 super carry is real or not. Let's see. 30 super ammo. I saw it goes from 35 to 40 a box. I saw online. Yeah, that's more like what I've seen. I've seen it in store for about $30 a box. So 35 to 40, not surprising. Let's see. American Eagle, Remington, and Federal makes this 30 super at the moment. Okay, yeah. Well, American Eagle is Federal. That's the same company. But Remington, that would be new. I have not seen Remington 30 super. I know the Max 9, but I want. Oh, okay. So you want a 9mm LCP. Okay, that's. I don't know that I would want to shoot that gun. That'd be a tiny little 9mm. That does not sound pleasant. But okay, I'll buy that. Let's see. I was able to add it to my cart at $23.99 in stock, so I don't know if it's actually available. Okay. $26.99 at Gun Mag Warehouse, and shipping is usually flat rate. Wow. Okay, so that's under $30. You still got to pay for shipping and tax, but that's less than $30 a box. So yeah, okay, good. Y'all are finding deals. Like I said, I don't really shop around online as much as I used to, just because I don't have to anymore. But good. I'm glad y'all are pitching in on that. Maybe I should go back to doing that and pay attention a little better. I'm gonna look into that Remington 30 super carry because that's interesting, and then maybe see if I can find it for some of these cheap prices y'all are throwing out here. Let's see, $31 a box here for Hornady Critical Defense and $380. So sounds like 30 super is almost the same cost. Yes, but again, no 30 super carry Critical Defense that I know of. I'm going to do some investigating now because y'all are throwing stuff at me that I haven't seen before. But as far as I know, that round does not exist. I would like for it to. Let's see. GMW is solid. My mag watering hole. Yeah. I'm aware of Gun Mag Warehouse, but I have not actually bought anything from them. So let's see. The way people are talking about it, it's gonna be $10 a box by the end of the year. Not likely. I don't think any ammo is gonna be down to $10 a box by the end of the year. Don't we all miss the days of $10.99 for a box of Blazer Brass 9mm? I do. I know that. Let's see. It will be beside the used guns case. Yes, that's exactly where it will be. Yeah. Let's see. Damn, that's 100 grain JHP 30 super at $26.99, or is 30 super all JHP? No, it's not all. The one I shot was Federal. It was American Eagle, full metal jacket. So no, it's not all hollow points. So $26.99 for some hollow points. That's cheaper than 9mm at that point. So, Okay, now we're talking. That's interesting. Let's see. Glad you went live tonight working on my studio area, and this is passing the time. Oh, cool, man. Cool. Glad you could join me for some chat. Glad you pitched in. Always good to see you. Defense Dad, by the way, that invitation is open to you as well. If you send me an email, I know we've emailed back and forth a couple of times. You are welcome to be a guest host as well. Let's see there. Spear Gold Dot 30 Super Carry. Okay, so Spear, I believe that's also a federal company. So that doesn't really count. But yes, that is hollow points. Let's see. Our local indoor range has Blazer Brass 115 grain for $16.99. That's good. That's good. It's getting lower in price. Let's see. Oh, he said sounds good. Yeah, I'd love to have you on, man. That's cool. Well, cool. Wow, we're at it. Wow, we're at 56 minutes. This has been a really good chat. What else you guys got? We'll as we wrap this up, getting up towards an hour. Best new podcast I've seen today. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Again, this is my first one. And I don't know if you just did a super chat or something. Like I didn't even know you could do that. Let's do that. There you go. That's pretty cool. Thank you. Thank you for hopping in here, man. You're a cool dude. It's good to meet you in person, and look forward to our now future relationship. Let's see. Vista Outdoors owns Federal, Spear, CCI, and Remington. Yeah. So like I said, they're all the same company. So saying that you've seen Spear, that's still Federal. It's all the same company. Carolina EDC, what made you start a live stream? So this is something I had been thinking about doing for a while. I think I mentioned it once in my channel update at the beginning of the year. I've hung out in other people's chats quite a few times actually, and it was fun just interacting. But I wasn't the one on camera. It wasn't my show. I was just kind of hanging out and just seeing how it went. And then recently, I was invited to be a guest on someone else's show. Y'all might have seen that. I was on the Jenny J 1911 channel. And I was her first guest, and I had a lot of fun. I had a blast. She was asking me questions, and we were laughing and having a good time, and her viewers were asking me questions, and just had a blast. And it was about an hour long. We chatted and interacted with her viewers, and I had so much fun. And I was like, okay, I got to stop thinking about it and just do it. Not worry about, is it going to be perfect? And so, yeah, that's why I started it. It's fun. Carolina EDC, y'all go check out his channel. And while we're on that subject, you should do live chats too, because it's a lot of fun. I'd watch it, just saying. Let's see, what's going to be my future schedule? So you're talking about for this show? The plan is to do it on Wednesday evenings at the same time at 8 o'clock Central Time. I may adjust depending on, because I am planning to have guests. So if they can, if they need to accommodate, I may move it to a Thursday at the same time, or I may push it back to 8:30, things like that. But it is going to be a weekly thing. I've already sent out a few emails. I'm going to send out a couple more now that we've been talking, and just start lining up the guests. And if I don't have a guest lined up for that particular week, then I'll just go live by myself, because I don't know. Here we are tonight. We've proved that can work. So it should be fun. Hope you know how to get those dollars from you. Okay. Yeah. That was not my motivation for doing this. I will tell you, anybody who doesn't know this, YouTube does not pay a lot. That's why we have stuff like this is my We the People shirt here. Okay. That's every month I put out a new video from We the People. Why? Because they're a channel sponsor, right? They're the ones that sent me this here tumbler. So I get more from them than I do from YouTube. Now, I don't know if that'll change once I do live chats. I don't know, but it's definitely, money is not my motivation at all. All right, I have a full-time job. I do this for the fun of it. The fact that I even do make any kind of money at all that's just a bonus, right? Now, if it kicks off and suddenly I've got way too much income coming in from this, then okay. But that's definitely not my motivation. That's not my goal. My goal is to educate people. I love teaching more than anything. And I can do that without YouTube. I just happen to choose to do it through YouTube as well because it's fun. Let's see. That's what I want. 9mm LCP size. Okay. Well, I would probably buy that gun just because it would probably be cheap. I mean, Rugers are not expensive guns. There's definitely several Ruger pistols that would fit into my definition, or my original definition of affordable. Let's see. Live streams, since I'm at work, sometimes I'll make it. Cool. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, man. And you've been a very good interactive in the chat. I'm digging it. Let's see. I've done some live stream in the past, but didn't have time anymore. Okay, fair enough. This Q&A type thing is cool. Not enough of this kind of content. Hey, I'm telling you, man, this has been a blast. Really, like, I feel like getting to know my viewers too, right? Like not just not just y'all getting to know me, but I'm getting to know you guys, and so it's cool. Let's see. YouTube takes 30% of the super chats. Okay, good to know. Like I said, I didn't even know that was a thing until I didn't even know I had that as a possibility until he went and did it. So that's anyway. Well, cool, guys. We're at just over an hour, so I'm gonna wrap this up. I've had an absolute blast. Had some really cool people, especially a couple that I didn't expect to jump in here. That's been a whole lot of fun. I've enjoyed chatting with you guys tonight. Real quick, yeah, you hate asking questions to people that have the attitude. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm definitely not that person. Like I said, education is my thing. I love teaching, so I love answering questions. And if I don't know the answer, I'm gonna go find out. So, all right, Mo Theory says I got to say this. Let's wait for what he has to say, and then we'll get out of here. What you got, Mo Theory? Come on. Come on. You must be typing. Oh, there you go. Happy 420. Okay. I had a feeling that's what it was going to be. Man, yeah. It's that is what it is. I don't have anything against it. It's not my thing. But yeah. Just like we should all be able to have guns. I think, everyone should be able to do stuff like that if they want to. Anyway, let's he's testing the 200 character limit. Yeah, I think he is, but that's all right. Well, anyways, am I going to the range day? Not that I know of. I don't even know when it is or how to get there or how I get invited. I have no idea. If you want to send me that info when you send me that email, Carolina EDC, I'd appreciate it because I would definitely consider it. Georgia's not that far from me. Anyway, so we're at just over an hour, so I'm gonna wrap this up and get ready to carry on with the rest of my night. Let y'all have your evening too. Thank you all for joining me tonight for the first ever YouTube Affordable Armory chat live, and it was a lot of fun. And hopefully we'll see some of y'all next week. Again, next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Hopefully we'll have a guest on, and we'll see you then.